Reportedly, he's got an offer on the table from the Houston Dynamo Herc of MLS. First reported by Tom Bogert. Herrera would be a designated player. Playing time has been tough to come by since he joined Atletico Madrid in 2019 from Porto. The big question here, I don't think, is whether Achacha would do this. I mean, there's a lot of players who at this point in their career would think about a move to a league like Major League Soccer. It's, will he be willing to do it, Herc, in this a World Cup year? What do you think?
It makes sense for all parties involved, right? But I sense a little pain in your voice when you say this.
Yes.
Why the pain, Seb?
No, because, I mean, let's be honest. If you think of the list of Mexican players, right, who have come to Major League Soccer, Chicharito, Carlos Vela, Rodolfo Pizarro, Jürgen Damm, has any one of them at all helped their position with the national team or improved the role that they played in the national team since coming to MLS? Any one of those players?
Well, different circumstances.
So but did any of them become a bigger part of the national team after arriving in MLS?
Okay, fair.
Not a single
That's your
one.
argument, right?
That's my argument.
Can I give you a counter?
Go ahead.
Okay, here's my counter to your argument about none of them became impact players with Mexican national team. Hector Herrera is going to be 32 years old in April. Hector Herrera is going on 3 years in Atletico. The first year played a little over 1,000 minutes, okay? Not quite the starter coming from being a captain at Porto, a Champions League team. The second year, a little over 600 minutes. This season, he's on par to do that again. He clearly has been affected mentally, his confidence, and those transatlantic flights. Okay.
That's why Hector Herrera is playing bad for the national team?
No, that's one of them. You've mentioned that. You've mentioned that as well. Now, you're telling me...
Herc's former teammate, by the way.
Yeah. Former teammate. You're telling me that he'll be a free agent come summer and him going to Major League Soccer for 2 to 3 months before the World Cup, possibly his last World Cup, is on par with a Diego Lainez making this decision and going to Major League Soccer. This is a guy who's going to be 32 years.
No, of course.
Last World
those
Cup.
are different.
No. So what I'm saying is give him the confidence to play in Major League Soccer.
So he needs to play. Achacha needs to play.
Not only does he need to play right now, heading to his last World Cup.
But goalies don't need to play, but Achacha needs to play, right?
You know, if I brought up something that's good for the Mexican national team or not good for the Mexican national team, every time we talked about the U.S. men's national team, you would be livid. What does that got to do with anything? Hector Herrera right now needs confidence. And if 2 months of Major League Soccer...
He started over the weekend. That's not confidence for you.
When's the last time he started before that?
Months.
What I'm telling you here, and I know you're with me here, Hector Herrera is talented enough where all he needs is the confidence heading into what possibly is, quite frankly, his last World Cup. He's not going to be Andrés Guardado, and he's going to play up to 37, 36 years old in Europe. Checks the box for Houston. Yes, Mexican national team player they've been dying to get. High-profile player. Checks the box for his family and himself, designated player, life in the States, make your money close to home. And Tata Martino should be thankful as well. This could be a win-win for all parties involved. It's only 2 months that he's in Major League Soccer before the World Cup.
MLS money makes you comfortable, and comfortable players don't produce at the international level. I give you the Mexico example. I'll give you the U.S. example from Cuba. Go back and look at the team that was on the field in Cuba.
Different circumstances because it's going to be 2 months of Major League Soccer for a guy who doesn't play right now.
So coming back to Major League Soccer makes you a better player?
That's exactly what I said. How did you decipher that?
So it's not going to make him a worse player?
That's exactly what I said.
So is it not going to make him a worse player?
Seb,
I've given you examples of Mexican players.
Can I give you an example?
The U.S. literally failed to qualify for the last World Cup because guys were comfortable in MLS.
That has nothing to do with this circumstance.
Right, you're talking about bringing Mexican stars back to MLS to get fat and happy in a World Cup year. That's going to be terrible for the Mexican national team.
Let me ask you a question. Carlos Vela, okay?
You're acting like this player has no other options.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about if it would work. Now, Carlos Vela comes back to Major League Soccer, gets on Barcelona's radar. You didn't talk about fat and happy. Where is that?
Did he go to Barcelona?
Where is that? It takes two. It takes LAFC wanting to let him go. It takes Barcelona wanting to pay the price. Was Carlos Vela a worse player for coming back to Major League Soccer?
Did he produce for the national team?
Was Carlos Vela a worse player for coming back to Major League Soccer?
Yes, for the Mexican national team, yes. Because after he came back to MLS, he never played for the Mexican national team again. So yes, he was a much worse player. Correct.
My God.
Correct. Correct.
Bradley?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bradley?
You know what? It's actually a great example. No, bring us back to the two-shot. You want to talk about Carlos Vela? Where was he before the 2018 World Cup? Because he did this exact same thing. He's the player, right? You're going to tell me that Carlos Vela had a great World Cup in 2018, aren't you?
That's LAFC's fault. That's Major League Soccer's fault.
No, but you're saying that Hector...
What are you saying?
No, mira, are you going to talk about the thing or are you going to just say, what am I saying?
No,
Hector
we're not
Herrera
talking about
coming to Major League Soccer months before a World Cup. What did Carlos Vela do?
2 months
He came months
before a
before a
World
World Cup.
Cup.
And what happened to Carlos Vela?
He's on a team he doesn't
what
play
happened to
for.
Carlos Vela? Wide against Sweden, shot off target after shot off target. Go back.
That's not Carlos Vela's. That's not Major League Soccer's
No, his left-footed
fault.
shot in the World Cup, missing target,
Or
isn't
was he
Carlos
in
Vela's fault.
2018?
He was in MLS,
That
bro.
made him bad. Are you trying
Yes,
to?
he was in Real Sociedad. He was at a level that when he was playing, that's where he should have been. He should have come to Mexico as a European player, and he would have been great.
Carlos Vela's shortcomings before Real Sociedad are on Major League Soccer as well.
Wait, we're not talking about that.
I don't know what you're talking about because you're picking and choosing when it works for you. You're picking and choosing when a goalkeeper playing
we
or
can't
not
do
playing
this studio-
works
this show
for
in
you.
studio.
I'm going to strangle you.
You have a player who was 3 months in MLS, went to the World Cup, and didn't produce at the World Cup, Carlos Vela. Now you're telling me Hector Herrera, another player, is going to come to MLS and produce at the World Cup?
I understand your disdain for Major League Soccer. I do. You've been a DC United fan for all your life. I understand the disdain for Major League
Yeah,
Soccer.
I'm upset at Major League Soccer because I gave you a career, and now we're here.
Let me ask you really quick, okay? You think it's better for Hector Herrera to be a two-bit player at Atletico heading into the World Cup?
I don't know that he'll be a two-bit player at Atletico.
You
He just got to
think-
start. I think he can play more. And I don't. And by the way,
Look at
it's
the
not
trend.
guaranteed to be
Look at the
Atletico.
trend.
He's
Look
got
at the trend.
six.
Look at the trend right now.
Okay.
Let's say all things are the same.
Okay. Does it have to be Atletico? There are other options.
I'm
He has
asking
six.
you put up these hypotheticals, answer the question.
No,
if
but-
all things stay the same,
Hercules,
is it good
but-
for him?
If he stays at Atletico, but you're saying that's the only option. The truth is his contract ends in 3 months. He could stay in Europe
You're
and not
saying
stay
the
at
only
Atletico.
option for him to go to Major League Soccer is he gets worse.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
You're
I think if
speaking
you go
in
to a worse,
absolutes when it works for you, which is insane.
if you go to a worse level of training and a worse level of game competition in the months before a major tournament, there's nothing logically that tells me
but
you're
you're
gonna improve.
assuming it'll be worse than what he's already at right now because
You're
he
right.
doesn't play right now.
You're right. Houston Dynamo and Atletico Madrid, very comparable on many fronts. Okay, did you see
twist
this?
these things?
Did you see this? You got CONCACAF. I don't know how it's a you got CONCACAF other than it's Ache involved, but it's a European game and a European referee. Codazo.
I
Was
wish,
it un sin querer queriendo?
I wish this was you and this was me. I wish that was this referee right
the
now.
unintentional. He caught him though. That was legit.
Oh, no, that does hurt. Not the face. Not the face.
No,
please.
no,
It's
he's
more
put a
about
lot
the
of
face.
money into that face,
Oh, come
bro.
on.
No, I mean he has. Let's.
Come on. Oh, gee.